nation. Dial it in on your TV station. Be the call, the escalation. This is your radio salvation. Go, 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 go.
Who are you?
Who are you?
We're the Crazy Girls. I'm Dani Elizabeth.
And I'm JoJo.
We are in Crazy Girls at Planet Hollywood, which is the longest running show in America at 32 years.
Yeah.
Originated at the Riviera. And I've been in the show now for about 4 years as of last week.
Yep, I'm going on about 3 years. We're here 6 nights a week. We're only dark on Wednesdays.
I'm from upstate New York, and
I'm JoJo. I'm from Alabama.
Hey, don't forget, buy tickets to our show at crazygirlslv.com or ticketmaster.com.
We'd love to see you. Stick around, take a photo with us. We'd love to meet you because we are
the Crazy Girls.
Everybody, welcome to Crazy Girls. Dani, Elizabeth, and JoJo. Thank you guys for coming on in. This is the next episode of After Dark with me. Yay. All right. So just a couple quick things, guys. If you guys are tuning in, thank you once again for watching the show. We do appreciate it. Make sure you guys go online. You can download our app for your iPhone and for your Android. Just go to your app store and you can download that. It's Go Live Vegas. All one thing, Go Live Vegas. Also, you can check us out online. You can link to all of our different things. You can check out all of our stuff. It's at afterdark.host. We have our site is up. You can click on it and that'll take you to our Facebook page, our YouTube, Periscope, Twitter, all those things. Also, you guys can call in if you guys want to talk to the girls live, 702-660-7666. The number is right up there on the screen, right over here, right there. And then also like to thank our sponsor, Terror Sound Clothing out of the UK. They're sending us some brand new stuff. We're going to be showing that off to you guys very soon. Also, we have some upcoming shows I want to tell you guys about next week. Guys, tune in. I got Matty Roberts. If you guys don't know who that is, I guarantee you've heard of the one event he created called Storm Area 51. So if you guys want to learn about how that happened and how it came to be and the debacle craziness that it was, he's going to be in here live talking with me next week. So tune in for that. Also, the week after that, I got my friend Jay Wasley from Ghost Adventures on the Travel Channel. He's going to be coming in. We're going to be talking all things paranormal and all the crazy stuff that he does on that show and all the things that's happened to him. And then coming up soon, we also have my buddy Johnny Katz, who is the entertainment review guy for the Las Vegas Review Journal. You're going to be able to talk to him. And my buddy Murray Sawchuk, Magic Murray, who has a show over at the Tropicana. We shot an episode for him, and he's going to be in here too. Also, just a quick little thing. I'll be keeping you guys more in tune. I'm going to be going to Rome, Italy in just a few weeks to be shooting a brand new Guinness Book of World Records show in Italy, and I'm setting a brand new world record. So I can't tell you what the record is yet because it hasn't been done officially. But as soon as that gets done, we'll be posting links, and you guys can check it out. And I'll tell you about. I'm going to be taking pictures, and we'll post photos and all kinds of great stuff from my adventures over there in Italy. So with all that being said, let's get into the show. All right, girls. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on.
Thanks for having
I've been waiting for this.
We're
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Now, for the people at home that don't know who you are, please introduce yourself.
I'm Dani Elizabeth.
And where are you from?
I'm from upstate New York.
Where's upstate? Because I'm from New York. When you say upstate, that can mean two things: Westchester,
Right.
which for people who
It's
live in the city,
basically everybody
or
outside
Buffalo.
the city. I'm near Albany, New York.
Albany,
Schenectady
okay.
County.
Schenectady.
Niskayuna
Oh, yeah,
is
I've been
where
up there.
I went to high school.
It's so cold.
It's so cold.
It's
That's
so
why
cold.
I'm here.
Exactly. Me too. And how long have you been in Las Vegas?
I've been in Las Vegas. It'll be 8 years
8
in
years.
August.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy.
That is
Gosh,
crazy.
Time is flying. And then I've been in Crazy Girls for about 4 years
About
now.
4 years now.
Yeah.
Wow, that is fantastic. And JoJo, where are you from?
I am originally from Lower Alabama, so I'm from Dothan, Alabama.
Now, you don't really have much of the Alabama thing going on in your voice.
Not too much, only if I drink or if
Yeah,
I get
it's like,
angry.
let's give her
So,
wine.
I mean, so nightly,
You're
but
4 shots away from like being very southern and or having a bad decision.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, always.
Always.
Yes, at any given time.
Very nice.
That's why I love her.
And you came to Vegas how long ago?
It'll be 4 years in June.
Okay, so you guys came not too far away from each other.
Yeah.
Wow. And so how did you come, like when you first came to Vegas, what did you start doing?
I came to Vegas for a show called Jubilee.
Jubilee, I remember
was
Jubilee
living
very
in
well, yeah.
Hollywood at the time, and I went for an audition there. And so I got the contract and never even saw the show. I was like, I'm going. We're doing
So
it.
you never even checked it out? You never
No.
like you lived in LA
And it's
but didn't
another
come to
topless
Vegas.
show,
Yeah.
so you can't. There's just
Yeah.
very minimal amount of things you can actually.
I remember
see.
back in the day. So when I first moved to Vegas, I moved to Vegas in '95,
Uh-huh.
and I saw Jubilee, I saw Follies, I've seen everything. I saw Crazy Girls when it was at the Riviera, and stuff. So I saw very different versions of the show, but all kind of similar, but different cast members, I should say.
Right.
So when you came to Vegas, you just jumped into the show. You had never seen the show. You
No,
were just
yeah.
like,
I moved here like 4 days before rehearsal started.
wow.
Yeah.
That must have been intense because Jubilee was a big production show.
It was, yeah.
I mean, it's some
It was
crazy,
my first
crazy
like Vegas show too.
like
I was like, oh my gosh.
Titanic and
Yeah,
all the
Titanic.
things.
100 people on stage and trying to figure out where to go
costumes.
and
I
not
remember
be an
those
asshole.
giant, beautiful showgirl costumes, which
Yeah.
unfortunately don't really exist anymore in this town. But,
I know.
But man, did you like wearing those?
I did.
Was it
Yeah,
fun?
Yeah, they're beautiful. How
Yeah.
could you not? I mean, they're gorgeous.
Like so now, other girls I've heard, and I've never interviewed, but I've heard like they were very heavy, like
There were.
with your neck and stuff like that.
There
was a
were
lot
some
of-
that were very heavy and that could cause some neck problems.
Problems,
but
gotcha.
For the most part, you kind of, what is it? Pain is beauty.
Yeah,
So
yeah, exactly.
you sucked it up.
That's fun. So when you first, now I remember back in the day, you had a choice. You could be topless or you didn't have to be topless.
Right.
And there was a difference in pay, obviously.
Yes.
But So was that way when you went into the show?
It was, except for the fact that they would only offer a spot. There was a spot available. So there was the covered line, the Bluebells, and then the nude line, the Showgirls. And when I came in, they were looking for I think one short nude, and then one tall nude. So, and I wasn't tall enough to be a tall nude. And so,
not short enough to be a short nude.
Yeah, they had a couple Bluebell spots, but they offered me the nude spot. And I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is, but let's do it.
Wow.
Let's get naked.
Right? I mean, at least you're naked you can't even really see the people from the stage.
Yeah,
for the
no,
most
there's
part.
too much costume anyway.
Yeah, you guys are dancing around and doing
Yeah.
stuff. Now, in that show, were you just, what was your specific jobs in that show?
Well, as a dancer, I mean, we had different numbers, every other number pretty much. We had different tracks. Each line had a different track.
Did you sing in that show?
No.
You did not sing that?
No.
Because you sing in Crazy Girls, this is why I asked.
Yeah, sort of.
Sort of. Now, JoJo, you came here, and what brought you here to Vegas?
I had worked on cruise ships for about 4 years.
The cruise ships.
Yeah, so it was just kind of a natural transition. I knew a lot of people that had moved to Vegas, and I didn't really want to go to New York or the
Hollywood thing.
Yeah. Didn't want to go that route, and I had some friends out here, so I just moved and started auditioning. And for the first couple of months, I was, just working really odd gigs and odd jobs.
Whatever you could get your hands on. Kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, Vegas is filled
yeah.
with that kind of stuff. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I learned pretty quickly off the bat. And yeah, I just auditioned for Crazy Girls 2 or 3 months after being here. I'd never done any kind of topless work, but I was just like, fuck it, here we go. And it was a little bit of a shock to the system. I remember the night that I auditioned, Dani was actually one of the first people that I spoke to, but when you audition, like, you're obviously in a bra and a G-string.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I've never worn a G-string on stage before. She's like, you'll get used to it. Sure enough, you don't think of it, you get desensitized pretty quickly.
Yeah. I imagine so. Wow. So you'd never done anything like that kind of reveling before? You were just like,
no.
Okay, well, I guess we're going to do this now.
I was like, I really need a job. So, but it actually worked out really well because it was one of those things that I didn't know that I would fall in love with, burlesque and that style of dance, and it's been a really good fit.
That's really great. Mm-hmm. Now, Crazy Girls has been around for a very long time. How long has the show been in town? Because it's been one of the longest running.
32 years.
Now. Wow.
Yeah.
And it's been the same guy still owns it. I'm assuming.
Yeah, no
Yeah, I remember hearing about him through the entertainment
The legend.
grapevine. Yeah. So I was I don't know if you know who this is. Have you ever heard of a girl named Jonna Steele? Have you guys ever heard of her?
I've heard of her.
Yeah. So Jonna Steele used to be in that show at one point, and her and I were very close. And friends and stuff. And stuff.
Yeah,
and,
lots of good stories there, I'm sure.
There's a lot of good stories there, yeah. If you've never seen a $40,000 vagina, talk to me about it. Because I have. Because let me tell you.
Do you still have those photos?
I never took, there was no cell phones, but the cell phones had no cameras back then. But very interesting person. So the first time I ever saw Crazy Girls was when she was in it.
Wow, cool.
And so I've seen some different versions of the show. Which it's neat to keep going back because it's a classic Vegas show. It really is.
It is. It absolutely is.
And it's like obviously the cast revolves
from
time to time and stuff. So what is in the show? What are your favorite spots of the show? Like what do you guys like? You host the show.
I do.
So you come out and like you dance in the show and you sing in the show and you host the show and then you're the line captain of the show. So what exactly? There's a lot of people who don't know what that means. I've been around a lot of dancers, so I'm familiar. But please explain what is a line captain's job.
So a line captain, or sometimes they're called dance captains, everything. Basically in charge of auditioning new girls to come into the show. So I'll lead the audition. We just actually finished up a week long. Every night we were having girls come in and audition. So we have some new babies coming into the show. I just found out today. Very exciting.
Nice.
And then I will teach the show. That's usually about a 3-week process. So just in charge of getting everyone knowing what they're doing. And then kind of work with scheduling, making sure everyone knows what they're doing each night, in charge of giving notes, so making sure we're all on the same page and the show runs smoothly and we're all clean. Yeah, so just making it very presentable for the audience.
And taking off their clothes properly.
Taking off their clothes properly.
There's obviously, no, I mean, people might laugh about that, but there's got to be a very specific technique.
Oh, yeah.
Because you guys have to do that super fast.
We actually, a couple of nights ago, just had to have a rehearsal beforehand to practice taking the bras off. So we had to line all the girls up, get our bras on. Like, nope, that was on 8. Nope, your left tit's out. I need the right one, too. Come on.
Now,
So,
are your costumes designed specifically to come off quicker? Mm-hmm. They are. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like the traditional, like, I got like these 3 little clips kind of thing.
Right.
Because I've seen you guys do it. You're like,
it's easy access. Usually
Easy access.
Velcro, snaps, hooks
Yeah.
sometimes, but just mostly stuff you can just rip off.
just rip right off. Gotcha.
I'm like, couldn't we have had that lesson when we were like 13?
Totally.
You know, like, that would've been
Teenage
helpful.
boys need that lesson, too.
Yeah, take off the
Or
bras.
maybe all of your clothes should be built that way.
just have snaps. I don't know.
Because everything's just plock, and it's just over there. Yay, I'm an expert. So, what was your first show? Like, so you started your business, your career. You guys both, I'm assuming, started dancing at a very young age, because every dancer I've ever known and or dated have all started when they were like very, very young.
Yes.
And stuff. And I hear the same thing about dancers' feet, which is like,
What nasty feet.
yeah, that all the dancers are like, my toes and my this and my that. Like every girl I know always has a story about how much their feet hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say my feet are cute by any means, but I also I don't get a lot of pedicures because I get one and then one night of dancing and it all just
and
comes
they're
off.
beat to hell, right?
What's the point?
Now, did you start? What kind of dance did you specialize
I
in?
started at a ballet school in upstate New York.
Okay.
Ramsey School of Ballet, and I went there from the time I was 4 to 18.
Okay.
And then
Wow,
I switched over and went and did a college dance team and arena football and stuff like that.
So you started at 4 years old dancing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's I don't remember when I was
Little
doing it at
baby.
4 years old. And what about you?
Yeah, same. I want to say I started my creative movement when I was like 2.5, you know. So yeah, I grew up dancing in Alabama. After I graduated, I moved to Chicago, studied there for a little bit at the Giordano School, just like a really cool jazz company that's up. Went to ships and landed in Vegas.
Wow.
Yeah.
What ship were you working on?
Royal Caribbean.
Royal Caribbean.
Yeah, good times.
I worked for Norwegian. I
Okay.
remember. Yeah, ship life was. That's a whole nother show.
Interesting.
To be
Oh,
honest.
yeah, we could
If
have
you guys
a
have never
few
worked
shows.
on a ship, let me tell you, it can be one of the most fun times you'll ever have in your life.
Twisted, yeah.
Yeah, it's a very bizarre culture on a ship because you're literally locked together on a giant tin can
Yep.
for many, many months at a time.
That sounds
and,
scary.
And you cannot do anything with the passengers. No. You only can hang out together, and that's it. So
Sounds like a
They
recipe for
can't
disaster.
catch you doing
they
anything
can't
with the
get- yeah.
passengers.
Yeah, and passengers aren't supposed to be in crew areas either. But I remember that one never really worked either.
Right.
If there's a will, there's a way. That's what I've discovered.
That's my motto.
Yeah, it was ship life. I found it was a thing. It was a real thing. I watched it because I was the oldest person pretty much in the whole group of entertainment. Because all the kids were like 18,
Oh,
19,
yeah.
and they were like in their 20s, and here I am like 40-year-old guy. Yeah, it was great.
Daddy John.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've reached
you
that
said
status. It's pretty great. I ain't gonna lie. I like it. But so you guys started in dance, and then so your parents, are your family still around?
Yes.
You-
Not. I mean, mine's in upstate New York.
Have they
Brother
ever
on the
have they
West
come to
Coast.
Vegas to ever
Oh,
see you?
yeah, yeah.
Yours
Yeah.
too. So how do you break the ice with that one? Like, do you? I mean, obviously they know what the show is about. I mean,
Right.
obviously. So the first time, I mean, they made you, so obviously they're not. It's not going to be too weird, maybe. I don't know. But were they kind of like weird? Were you weirded out more about them seeing you for the first time?
A little bit. I have a couple of numbers in the show that are fairly sexually aggressive. And
No.
No. So I don't think my mom was like too surprised, but
Yeah.
also she had just never seen something quite that level before.
Yeah.
And also just being from the Bible Belt, my parents are a little bit more conservative.
Yeah.
But I do have to say they've always been very supportive with it. Like we don't talk about it aggressively. But my mom's come to see the show, and she'll be like, that was just great. The lighting and the costumes, and, well, what costumes you were wearing. But,
That's a great piece of underwear.
Exactly. You threw that G so far, baby. But, yeah, they're supportive in their own way, and I appreciate that.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, my parents are about the same. They're like, oh my gosh, you're in a Vegas show. That's awesome. And my mom has a little bit less words. And my dad's like, honey, he would go every night. He's like, I just go. And then when I see you're on stage, I stare at everybody else and watch you when you're naked out of the corner of my eye. And I'm like, well, that's a great formula.
Yeah.
Fair.
I'm going to look at your friends naked, but not you. It's not going to be weird or anything. It's going to be fun. Oh, my God. I would love to be in the room for that. It's got to be...
I feel like now that we've been...
Now that you've been doing it now for a while, yeah. But I'm just saying that first time. The first time is always the best. Yeah. I mean, I don't have quite the same experience, obviously, but I do a lot of unusual things to myself.
Do you get naked in this podcast?
No, because nobody would want to see that. And all the viewers are gone. But because of the nature of some of the gross, disgusting things that I do in my shows, and some of the stuff requires me to bleed quite a bit. Back in the day, I don't do that so much now because I'm too old for that shit. But my mom and dad, when they would come and watch, and like the first time I got in a tank of water with like 24 piranha, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm gonna lock myself in this tank of water and hold my breath and escape from chains while the piranha try not to eat me. It's gonna be great. And my dad's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm like, and now as soon as they say that, I'm like, okay, I'm on the right track. Because my parents became so desensitized to the stuff I was doing, I was like, well, if I can make them go, what the hell's wrong with you? I'm like, okay, this is the right thing.
Well, I think our parents are a little desensitized, but I don't know.
Yeah,
sure.
And so my mom now is my litmus test for things. I'm like, so mom, if I did this, what do you think? She's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, okay, I'm on the right spot. So, but I mean, I don't have children, and I can't have children, thankfully. And but I mean, I don't know how I would feel. Like, I mean, like, oh my God, this is my daughter, and yes, she's beautiful, but fuck,
she's naked.
You stop looking at her, you pervert. Because I mean, all the people go. Now a lot of couples go to the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I've been there several times, and I've seen a lot of couples, and I found more women tend to lean towards going to your shows than the men.
Yeah, I think our show does a good job of making women feel comfortable and included, and they kind of feel like they're expressing their sexuality through us while we take our clothes off for them.
Yeah.
So
I mean, no, because I think that absolutely works, because I've watched the show from like about midway in the theater, and you can see couples are like really, and we had some couples next to me a couple times. They were like, "Oh, that hand is going way up there."
Oh, you can see it from stage.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure you guys have great visuals.
I love it. Like just the other day, because we take photos after the show and we do a meet and greet and sign things, and a couple came up to us, and the guy, he was like, "Oh, yes. You guys you're really great. You were really athletic." And then his wife was like,
My
your
javelin
bodies
throw
are all
was
just
amazing.
beautiful, like your butts and your boobs. And so like she was way more comfortable, saying what she wanted to say.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, you guys are athletic." Like, yes, thank you.
Very
That is a
respectful,
great
sorry.
compliment.
She's like, that ass was fat.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so if you're watching at home, the phone lines are open. Check it out, 702-660-7666. I got Dani, Elizabeth, I got JoJo. You guys can call in anytime, ask questions, check us out online. Ask them anything. They're open for everything. So while we're getting into that, so I'd like to find out some, obviously people like to know about you guys, not just on stage, but off stage kind of thing. What's one of the weirdest things you've ever been asked by somebody from off stage anytime? I mean, because a lot of dudes obviously going to find you guys online and slide into the DM. So imagine, looking the way you do, guys immediately are like, and then,
I think.
What's the best? What's one of the best ones? Like one of the ones that you were like, shit,
have
this
you
is
ever
funny.
considered selling your G-strings for money online?
There's
because apparently,
first of all, there's good money in that.
Apparently there is.
There's fantastic.
There really is.
I have friends who do that, and like feet things.
I'll
And
just
feet
go to
things. I was
Feet
just
things
about
are the
to
big.
say.
Feet are huge. You go on Craigslist. There's like an unlimited number of men who would pay for just pictures of your feet. I don't get it
I don't get
myself.
that either.
Me either.
But
Especially if
hey,
they
man,
saw our feeds.
hey, you know what? There's something for everybody, and
Yes.
I love this country because there's stuff that allows me to see people like you, and we can just go do that, and nobody gets their hands or head chopped off, and it's fantastic.
Okay, so are we starting a new business?
I mean,
You
Are we
should.
gonna
You guys want
sell-
to make a lot of money. Let me tell you, I can help you facilitate that because I know a lot of weird
we'll
people.
have to chat later. 'cause
Have you guys? I mean, do you guys receive gifts and stuff like that at the show?
Yeah.
Do people
yeah.
send you
Really
guys
sweet
stuff?
Fans.
yeah, we've had.
You made a weird face over there, so I'm assuming there's a good story behind that.
Well, I would say all the gifts we've received have always been given with good intentions. Sometimes it just does get a little bit intense. Like we've had people, that'll go through like our social media, like find pictures from 4 years ago and like create collages and just
Wow. And
you
just
know,
bring it in, yeah.
give us keychains and cards and blankets.
Which
we
I
all have
fucking
face
love,
blankets.
though. I'm
we
like,
do love
man,
the face blankets.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would never make that for myself, and I use
So
it
somebody
every
had your
day.
face printed onto a blanket
Yeah. He's
and
so
said,
sweet.
I'm going to send this to
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
So
it
in
was
case you
fun.
forget what you look like,
And he moved
here's
away,
a
so we don't get
giant
to see him
blanket.
anymore. Yeah,
God,
I know.
I left mine with my ex-boyfriend accident. I don't know what happened to that after I did.
Here,
Probably sold it for money.
Remember what this looked like, bitch?
If you're listening, I need a new face blanket. Mine has been defiled.
Oh my God. So what are some of your favorite nightlife type things? Because Vegas obviously has a fantastic nightlife.
Yeah.
And you guys are part of the nightlife for a lot of people because you guys are 6 nights a week, correct?
Totally.
6 nights a week.
6 nights.
Dark on Wednesdays, people, just so you know.
Yeah, it's our Friday.
Over at Planet Hollywood, go check them out. It's a great show. You will not be disappointed. But when you guys are hanging out, what do you guys do? What do you guys do here in town? Because this Vegas has so much to do. Like, there's so much great places to eat, and there's
Good
places
places.
to hang.
Well, I guess it depends on the occasion. We tend to like to go to Top Golf.
Top
for
Golf.
certain
Top Golf
things,
is
yeah.
fun.
It's a lot of fun.
I
Like
did-
for special events or birthdays or
Yeah,
things like that.
I didn't think I was gonna like it, but I went with Tape Face.
Yeah.
And we did have a really good
Hell
time.
yes. He's awesome.
I love Sam. I love that guy so much. He's so much fun. But let's see. Oh, this is one of the things. Somebody actually sent me this question in, so I thought it would be kind of interesting because you guys have to do this a lot. Makeup tips. What kind of because there's different kinds of makeup. There's showgirl makeup, and then there's like you're going out makeup.
Right.
So,
Totally.
so the difference between those two, I mean, a lot of people might not realize what you have to do because people don't understand what lighting does to.
I
a
mean, I don't
face.
know. Looking at your eyes right now, I feel like you should be giving the makeup tips.
Your eyeliner's on point.
Just
Yeah, I've been doing this
It
a long
is.
time, Dylan.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you?
Like, what is your favorite? Like, what's your favorite kind of make? Like, what do you use? What do you use?
I mean, oh God. I use a mix of like generic stuff and also stuff that you would find at like MAC or Ulta,
Right.
more
Mac-
expensive.
what-
I think for me, it's finding what works and getting your routine down and not leaving your makeup at work like I did today. Hi, that's why I look diseased. But
Lies.
yeah, and I feel like
Because of course she's got like 2 pounds of backup makeup at home.
Oh,
too.
yeah, my backup makeup. But I think the trick is just like finding your routine, finding what works for your face, and then we can probably all beat our face within like 15 minutes. Like,
Really?
we're
You
fine, 'cause
guys-
we do
you
it
gotta-
every night.
Totally.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think whatever works for you. I mean, there's a couple things that I must have. My night moth lip
night
liner. She makes fun of me from MAC.
Do you guys wear the masks? Do you guys do the mask thing at
And
night?
then, no, not so much. Then a Ruby Woo lipstick because it's like forever stay. So it's
Yeah.
great. You can go out after the show and it still
And
stays
it's still
on.
good, yeah.
And then the one thing I love, it's like a 24-hour stay cream for your eyelids
Mm-hmm.
to go underneath your eyeshadows. So it's great for like when you're sweating or, in the summertime, even if you're working outside as a gig, it keeps the eyeshadow from creasing.
Ah.
So that's like my favorite thing. I've used that for years.
See, there's a cool thing. Now, I know you guys. Because we're friends on the Instagrams and all this stupid shit. So you guys do extra gigs too in town because a lot of
Yeah.
people don't realize like when you do shows here in town, you do a lot of other things. It's not just might not be just the only thing you do.
Yeah.
Like this is my nighttime gig.
Totally.
But during the daytime, why can't I make more money?
Right.
Absolutely.
Because this town is filled with people wanting entertainment and stuff like
Totally.
that. And I know you do a bunch of stuff that I've seen, like other types of gigs. You know,
Yeah.
expand on that.
So I work at Marquee Nightclub. I'm one of the go-go dancers there, do like the showgirl routines and stuff, and that's a lot of fun. And then just different things throughout that group. There's Lavo Brunch, which is at the Palazzo every Saturday, so we also go for that. And Beat Wave is actually starting this month too, which that's just a big day club party at Marquee's pool.
Wow.
And I guess just because I work in nightlife, something I was going to touch on earlier was I can't be in a club if I'm not working there. Like, I love to go out and like hang with my friends, but there's just something about being in that environment. I actually was there last night. I went to go watch the girls dance and support, and I was like, this is the first time I've ever been here when I've not been working.
Yeah.
And I was like, when did I get old? I was looking around.
Yeah. It happens.
It does overnight too.
I remember when I first moved to Vegas, I was out till 7 a.m. every day. I didn't give a shit.
Yeah, the first 6 months of living here, it's like
a blur.
And then it's like, man,
have to
I'm
figure it
going
out.
crazy. And then all of a sudden, I was like, if I'm walking in there, I better be getting paid. And it's like, and that became the thing. Like, I don't want to go out unless I'm getting paid.
Totally.
Like, because I don't want to have to do all this.
this for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to go to like the
Absolutely.
Target. I mean, come on.
Totally. Yeah. No. Money helps.
Yeah.
When you're working.
I mean, it's a
Good
good thing.
incentive.
And that's one of the great things about this town is because we have so many tourists coming in and we have so many events like the convention circuit here, which people who don't understand, we get a lot of conventions here in Las Vegas, and they always want pretty girls to be at their booths because that helps sell product.
Yeah.
Because no one's hiring this to sell a product when they can have that.
Oh,
So-
Dani and I have a really good convention story.
Ooh.
We do.
Yeah.
Oh, dish.
You go ahead and take that one
Well,
away,
I
baby
mean,
girl.
where are we gonna pick that one up? Like, what part? I mean,
We basically just got to dress as robots and do a dance for all the, and we were like on the ground level.
Okay.
And it was mostly, I think it was a Chinese company, so they
yes,
were all
because they
sitting
didn't really
there.
speak English, so
No.
it was hard for us to be. They're like, no, and we're like, okay, no what? Like, no the costume, no the like.
I remember she came up to us because we like performed for the opening of their booth, and it was just like a really simple number because we were like down there on carpet with our like robot costumes on and shit. And she comes up and she was like, "No, too sexy. You do not." So we had to
like talking to Tonto.
And yeah, we were literally just doing like innocent body rolls.
Yeah.
That was way too sexy for them.
Yeah.
And then mind you, like the booth across from us had girls with like G-strings and
Really?
sparkly bras on, walking
tits up to
around.
here.
Yeah.
Wow.
we're in our Silver LeMay robot costumes.
Yeah.
Like, I just want my page.
Dama literally just do the robot. That's all I
Yeah.
want. That's so. Well, the Chinese culture is different. I lived in China for a little bit, and man, that was a different thing. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like you can't like some of them like normally like when I see people I know I hug them and blah blah blah. Over there, no. Like with women.
Yeah.
Not all of them. Some of them are more westernized and they understand it's just friendly. But the traditional, like I went to do that and they were, oh no, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
And that was my learning experience.
We came,
The more you know.
Became
Yeah.
buddies with the woman that was like in charge of us, and
Yeah.
She ended up being so lovely.
she was
We were
so
homies by
lovely.
the end.
We were just like, she was like, new. She hadn't done. I think that might have been her first time in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And so we were trying to convince her to come see Crazy Girls.
Oh
and
my God.
So we're like, Jan, we get topless, and she goes, oh, okay, next time. She was so cute.
Jan, if you're listening, we miss you.
Jan.
Oh my God.
We'll still take you to that strip club.
Yeah, we told her we were gonna take her to a strip club.
Take her to
that's
strip club.
right.
So what's your favorite strip club in town? Speaking of strip clubs.
Sapphire.
Sapphire?
Sapphire.
Sapphire.
At the Sapphire. No, I've heard.
That song is infectious. I ain't gonna lie.
It really is.
I hate it and love it all at the same time.
I've always wanted to go to Spearmint Rhino. I've heard they have great chicken fingers and
Yeah,
fries.
they're great. Spearmint Rhino's really great.
I have been.
I
to
love
s-
some breasts.
I did go to Spearmint Rhino. I only with Chris Angel of all people.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It was a pretty interesting event.
I bet.
Yeah, and but it was fun. I mean, it was great. He was very, very nice, and like he literally bought like everybody food and like all kinds of stuff. He was very, very generous. He was very nice. I had nothing bad to say about him in that way. But it was. I mean, I was married to a stripper when I was only
Nice.
married. I got married when I was 23 and divorced by 25. So it was great. It was a good
So
time.
last year.
Yeah, last year. A couple of last years ago. But,
Oh, by the way, at Crazy Girls, we're always 25.
You're always
Forever.
25.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
Forever. You're forever
Forever.
25.
25 and single.
25 and 6, right?
25 and single.
Isn't that odd the way that needs to be a thing?
Yeah.
I find it very amusing, though.
It is.
I do
Very.
love it. I do love it. But yeah, I mean, we have a lot of strip clubs here in town, but you've never been to Sapphire.
No, I like Sapphire. That's one of the only ones that I've been to. I think I've been there and to.
But you haven't been to Spearmint
Hustler.
Rhino.
No, I want to go to Spearmint Rhino.
Yeah. So I went to Hustler, but for not to see the girls, I had friends who were midget wrestlers, and they were midget wrestling at Hustler, and I took Tape Face, who had never seen midget wrestling, and I was like, we need to go do this. And it was like, I could care less about the titties and was more interested.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you can see titties any day of the week
Right.
here.
Yeah,
But
this is
how,
true.
but how many times are you going to see little people beating each other
That
up
is a good
yeah.
for
point.
your entertainment? I was like, this is amazing.
That's so.
I love America.
I
Goddamn
do too.
America. Have you guys ever seen midget wrestling?
No.
Oh my
But
God.
now I feel like I need to.
You need to. So my friend, they're coming back again,
Okay.
and I will definitely
Okay, we're
email you guys
coming.
and be like, we need to go
It's an
We're
event.
coming.
because it'll change your life. It will change your
Well, now I'm
life.
sold. So.
You had me at
Yeah.
midget wrestling.
And I'll tell you, as far as strip clubs go, if you ever find yourselves in Atlanta, Georgia, there's a place called the Claremont Lounge. That is a club you will never forget, ever. Ever. And I've seen, look at me, and I live in a weird world, and even I was like, holy shitballs.
This is weird.
Yeah. So I'll give you a little clue. So we were on tour. I was on a show called Hell's a Poppin'. We were on tour going through Atlanta. My friend lives there. He's like, you're going to need to go to the Claremont Lounge. I'm like, why? It's a strip club. I'm like, eh. And he's like, no, you got to go. So I was like, okay. So it was $10 to get in. So I was the guinea pig. I gave him $10. I walked in, literally walked in the door. Stage is right there on your right behind the bar. On stage was a woman, mid-60s, with her panties down, picking up her gut and smacking her vagina.
Nice.
And I immediately turned around and said, give them your money right now and get the fuck in here.
Nice.
So it's a club filled with nothing but like grandmas.
Oh.
Yeah, and
Everybody's a grandma.
Yeah, everybody. There's an
I just
old
found my
or
retirement
like
plan.
really bigger girl, or like big girls who would not make it in a regular club.
Okay.
And there was this one girl there named Blondie, who wore a blonde wig and a black woman who had like National Geographic boobs is a great way to explain it. And she, for $20, she would crush a beer can and then beat you with her boobs. So I gave her $100 and I put our tour manager in a chair, and I enjoyed the next 20
That's
minutes
amazing.
more than anybody
That's
else.
amazing.
Yeah. You ever get to Atlanta? Go see it.
I don't know. It sounds
it'll-
like maybe like the next specialty app.
I wish
for
they had.
showing
I really
babies.
wish they had one of those
I've
here
never
in town.
tried.
So speaking of the boobs, since you guys work in the boob industry, so the boob thing on stage, like natural versus the implant thing. What's the ratio in your show?
Am I an army of one right now?
Two.
Two.
There's two of you. Because yours are very not. I mean not. I like to. There's some girls I've seen that I call them clown tits because they're so ridiculous. They don't make any sense. It's like that doesn't even look close to being right.
Right.
It just looks like a girl with a
And
tiny
obviously,
frame,
if you're taking the
and
top
then
off at night, you have to make sure
Totally.
you.
they
you
look normal. Like, yeah,
Pretty, yeah.
It's like
Like, at
big
Jubilee,
boobs
they
to me are
wouldn't-
frightening. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm terrified by
The
them.
flotation device.
Just all of them, like when they go, I'm like, and yeah, I just yeah.
Well, Crazy Girls loves big boobs.
Yeah.
They do. And I think as long as they don't really care real versus fake, just as long as
Yeah.
they look nice.
Yes. Yeah. So, how old were you when you decided to get your augmentation?
My augmentation.
So proper.
I
When the
know
fuck
you
did
like that.
happen?
I know some words. I own a thesaurus.
I think I was 23. So yeah, we've been friends.
So
now
2
for a
years
little
ago.
while. 2 years ago.
Yes. God,
funniest-
you learn fast, John.
Funniest story about that though was I had just finished my first ship contract, and I remember my mom kept nagging me about it. She was like, "You're gonna have some money when you're finished with this. Like, why don't you just get your boobs done?" And like, I was always flat chested, but it never bothered me.
Yeah.
And so she kept nagging and nagging. I was like, "Fine, mom. Like, set up the consultation. Cool." And I was like, the only thing that worries me though is like breast cancer runs in our family. I was
Yeah.
like, what about like mammograms? I've heard that it makes it like harder for them to find masses. And she's like, well, they've always been able to find benign masses in my boobs. And I was like, yeah, but yours are real. And she goes, oh, baby, no. So I was like waiting for 22 years. My mom had these big old titties, like for mine to come in. I felt like I just found out I was adopted.
Oh my God, that's so good. That's so good.
So-
That's amazing.
That's Oh my God, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, saline or
Silicone under the muscle, through the nipple. Yeah. My mom likes to joke too that I got it half off because he was having a special that you could get 2 for $4,000. Yeah. So she went in halfsies with me. She's always like, I paid for one of those.
Oh my God, that's so
Sorry,
good.
Mom.
Sorry, Kay.
Oh my God, that is so funny. So, of course, a lot of people, because I mean, your job, besides dancing and entertaining, is what you look like.
Yeah.
So, what's your regiment for like your bodies and stuff? Because obviously, you can't just go around eating pizza and fried foods all the time.
Dream.
I know.
We definitely do
Or
that,
I know
though.
you
We
do.
do.
Well, I have
We
been
do.
out with you. I've hung out with you personally.
I eat. I like to
Yeah,
eat.
I
So
mean,
does
I
JoJo.
know you guys, and I see her posting stuff too. So I know she goes out and she does stuff, but obviously you guys have to have some kind of workout regimen because otherwise you'd look like me.
Definitely. Like we do different things. I'm really into cross training these days, and I just found a place 3 minutes from my house. So
Oh, that's even better.
I go down there. It's 45 minutes. I get in. I get out. And I try to do it 5 days a week,
Yeah.
but sometimes that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I also I do massage therapy too. So if I have a lot of clients that day, then I'm like, you know what? I'll skip a workout.
So that's your
because-
side business.
Yeah.
Do you have a
Because I do
website
deep tissue and
or
stuff.
anything?
I do have a Facebook page.
Okay, why
Yeah.
don't you tell that to me?
Yeah, I do. I do.
And what is that Facebook
It's
page?
I think it's under Danielle Flahiv. Yeah, I haven't really updated it much because I've
Okay.
done. I love getting referrals.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, I understand,
because I
yeah.
do it freelance. So-
Gotcha, gotcha.
And I love doing sports massage or
Like
deep
deep tissue
type
stuff.
stuff. I work on a lot of athletes and performers in town and a lot of non-athletes and performers, but it's all just kind of like
The word of mouth kind of
Yeah,
thing. Well, I mean,
totally.
that's got to be a little
well,
nicer.
because I work in
but-
a topless show too, so
Yeah.
I'll have people that like will creep on my Instagram and
And
then
try to find you.
send me a DM, and they'll be like, "Hey, I saw your show last year. I'm from Iowa. I'm coming back, and I see you do massage. Can I book with you?" And I'm like, "That's really
This is not
weird.
happy ending, sir.
Yeah,
That's rubdownsbydani.com.
yeah. I mean, trust me, they're good.
The
but-
rub and tug. And we have so many of those here in town, folks. So if you come to Vegas and you really need that, plus, trust me, there's many
Not
very
Dani.
fine Asian girls who can help you
Yeah.
with that. They're really good from what I've heard.
From what I've heard.
From what I've heard. I'm fantastic at it, trust me. I've been doing it my whole life.
Nice.
So what are your favorite shows here in town? Like, I mean, do you guys get a chance to go out to other shows?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have a lot of time off, obviously.
I think one of my number one favorites, besides Crazy Girls, of course, would be Absinthe.
Absinthe. It is a fucking great
It's
show.
so good.
It is a fucking great show.
It's
God damn, I
great.
love that show. Like, everybody in there is so good.
So talented,
So good.
so funny, so
Yeah.
witty, it's
Yeah.
clever.
And it's one of those shows where it's like, it's kind of funny because they post their bad reviews, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that people are so offended by what they do that they don't get the joke.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Yeah,
and
totally.
it's
Oh yeah,
just
because they're very
very vulgar.
very
Yeah,
vulgar
they
and
say
dirty.
all of the things.
And like 50% of people like them, 50% don't.
Yeah, and it's great.
Yeah,
I
and
love that.
Me too. That's
So
probably
good.
why I like it. Yeah.
What about you over there, JoJo?
I like any male review. It doesn't matter what it is. Well, and here's why. Is because I like going and just objectifying the shit out of all the men.
Yeah, totally.
And
Do you look at their feet? That's the first thing I need to know.
but I'll like be a real asshole too and see like if I can make him crack a smile, which I hate saying this because I hate it when people do it in our show, but I'll like sit there and I'll start quoting scripture at him. I'll be like, Philippians 4:13, Jesus is watching. Because they
really
don't get
does.
that often.
Yeah.
So.
It really does. Yeah.
You don't. Yeah, not a lot of lap dances come with the Bible verses.
I like
Leave
going,
room for the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, and that's why I like going to male review shows with JoJo because then I find them more entertaining.
I think I need to go to a male review with JoJo.
Okay, so we'll have a night
I
of
think we-
Chippendales, midget wrestling, and
Yes.
then an Asian massage.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Maybe they can make some dim sum. I really love
Their next day off.
I love objectifying men. That's so good.
It's my favorite pastime.
It is good. Do you tell them they're fat? You could work out a little bit more.
Just a little bit. Start pinching them in the lap dances.
Oh my God! I did actually see a video of you going to one not too long ago. Yeah. You forget about these things. The internet never forgets, my
No.
But I do remember, like, you started out dancing him. I saw that. Trust me, I saw it. It was super funny.
I think that was my birthday.
That
was at Sapphire, actually.
Was that? Yeah, because it was the Men of Sapphire. Because I've performed in the comedy show with Left and stuff.
Yes.
And I remember, and the guy, so we shared the same dressing room in the
Okay.
back. So it's like, here's a bunch of comedians, magicians, nerds, and then all of a sudden, the beefcake dudes come walking in. I'm like,
That's right. Yep.
This is hilarious.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that was a fun night.
Yeah.
do you remember most of
very
it?
entertaining.
Really?
Most of it. I don't know. I mean, like, good. I may or may not be allowed back inside Thunder Down Under. My picture
didn't say
may
it,
be
she
in the
said
back. Like, too funny not to share.
Are you on the bolo wall?
Yeah, security sees me. I'm going to wear a wig next time.
Supposedly it was, it was dismissed before it got to the right people. So I think you're good for round 2.
Oh my God.
Right. She's back.
She's back.
Gird your loins.
Here we go.
Where the redhead is here. Holy shit.
Put her on the table.
Oh my God, that's yeah. I do remember that video, and I was like, "Wow, look at that!
Look at her go.
Look at her go,
her
just
do it.
living her life."
I must say, she does like the floor hump back pedal thing better than any male I've ever seen on stage. So.
I've worked for it.
Yeah.
I've seen your act.
The impregnating the floor.
There is a very happy hobby horse in that show. I can guarantee you.
Yes, there is.
Oh my God! So. This is a subject that I really like. So I love trolling the internet for unusual things. So there's a few videos. There's a certain kind of videos I love to watch because I find them super entertaining.
Okay.
So this is like a spare time thing for me. But I like to talk to other people to see if they know about it and or also have weird interests in this stuff. So one of them is, and I know a lot of people do this and it's gross, but super fun to watch, the pimple popping cyst videos. Do you guys into those things?
Kind of like that show. Was it like
Dr. Pimple Button. So she started as a
yeah.
YouTube thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a bunch of years back, and then like you go online and you punch in that stuff. There's like thousands and thousands of videos. I can't believe how many people like to watch
You know
that
what?
stuff.
I like popping other people's pimples.
Yeah.
But I don't like watching it.
Just on video.
Yeah,
Same.
like without people,
Ah.
with people I don't know.
So you like
or
to do it
something.
yourself?
Because I like the feeling
Yeah.
between my fingers, and like it's just you've accomplished.
Here's the thing.
something.
Don't
I
feel
know.
weird. Don't feel weird about this because
Oh, God,
let me
I'm
tell
sweating.
you, I know so many people who do that. Like it's really weird because once you start talking about it, and they're like, I kind of actually like that too.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, see, you're not the only weird. Like you're not
I'm
weird.
like, let me get in there.
Yeah, you're just like, I will beat you.
I'll get it.
It's satisfying, yeah.
It is in a weird way, and
Yeah.
I don't understand why I like it, but I find it like when I see all that happen, I'm like, that's amazing. That's a real thing. It's a human thing. We're such a weird thing.
We are.
Humans are weird. The human body is very bizarre.
Oh, yeah.
I worked in a crematory for a little while, and I've seen some very. I took a girl on a date there. That's how I knew if she was going to work or not. I was like, "Hey, you want to come to watch me work?" And she's like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "I work in a crematory." And I brought her, and we were in there cremating a body together. And I was like, "Oh, you're going to last."
Wow,
Kind of thing.
that's amazing.
It takes
You
a
guys
lot.
are like
I'm not.
flirting over.
Here's the thing. Dating me is not an easy thing because I have a lot of very unusual interests. Not that I participate in all of them. Sometimes I just like watching them because it's just weird, and I'm like, well.
But you still need a
It's like
partner in
watching
crime
pregnant
to
porn.
watch.
I don't really get off on it, but fuck, that's weird.
Interesting. It's like a case study.
I'm sitting there going, wow, that's yeah. That's like 12 guys. Holy shitballs.
He's talented. He's got some stamina.
You think you've already had enough by this point, but you're
But
going to go for
hey,
more.
no.
I mean, you can't get pregnant again, I guess, so there you go.
No, yeah,
But
actually,
it's weird.
That's
It's
birth
weird
control
shit.
right there.
There's so much weird shit on the internet, and I love it. So UFOs, aliens, what's your thoughts?
Gosh.
They exist.
I think they're out
Do you
there.
believe in
I do
aliens?
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, it's silly to think that that we're alone in the entire
For sure.
thing.
For sure.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense. There's got to be another planet somewhere with the same distance from a star that creates this kind
Totally.
of environment where life can live.
Definitely.
I mean, we're obviously in that
I think
perfect
humans
zone.
know about it too. I think our government knows about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
We
do you
just-
think they've come to Earth?
So here's a weird thing. There's some really great documentaries out there, and some of them are by people who don't want to even discuss the thing, but yet they're like, I worked in this place. They can prove they worked in this place, and then all of a sudden the government erased parts of their life.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How does one erase?
Because the government can do whatever they want. They can make you disappear if they really, really want to. Because everything's on a computer. And all they got to go in and go click, and you don't exist.
Crazy.
They can erase
I believe it.
They can
I'm
erase
pretty sure.
your social security number. They can erase your birth
I'm
certificate.
pretty sure they've been
They
able
can
to do
erase-
that for like decades
Oh
by
yeah,
now too.
but now we know about it.
Yeah.
Where now, but back in the day, like back in the 70s and 80s, you can make somebody disappear super, super easy. But now it's like people are able to talk
Finding
about
out about it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's super. It's really, really. There's a great documentary on Netflix, and I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head right now. But after the show, I'll tell you guys about it. And man, there was a guy, Joe Rogan. I don't know if you guys watch Joe Rogan's podcast, which is a fantastic podcast. They actually had the guy on there, and he worked not at Area 51, but at the actual area where they do have the alien stuff.
Wow.
Area 51 is not where it is. There's another place in the same complex. It's on the same property, but many, many miles away.
Oh, that's crazy.
And he was a propulsion expert. So his whole thing was propulsion, and he worked on this stuff that did not exist.
Wow.
On Earth, an element that did not exist.
Yeah, that's
on
crazy.
Earth,
That's
but
crazy.
yet propelled things. He was in the ships, physically in them, and it's like I can tell you for sure this is something that I've never seen in my entire
Yeah.
life. And like but they had different scientists, which was cool. But none of them could communicate with each other. They only worked on their own specific things together. So
interesting.
one guy's were propulsion, these guys are this guy this, but they don't talk together.
Yeah.
So shady.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
really, really, really neat. It's like it's creepy shit. Like he was describing stuff so creepy. Then he was on the phone talking to somebody, and then all of a sudden the FBI raided his house and his business, and just ripped the whole place apart.
It's wild.
Just because of one phone call when he mentioned something, and then all of a sudden, so they're tapping him for the rest of
Government,
the
if you're
Yeah.
listening, we're
But it's just neat. I mean, this kind of stuff is so cool and so out there. So the other thing, obviously, I work with Zach Bagans at the Haunted Museum here in town, and on the Ghost Adventures show sometimes. What are your thoughts on paranormal stuff?
Oh, well, that I for sure, 100%.
Because you and I and
Yeah.
and Murray and friends, we went to the Haunted Museum before I started working there.
Yep.
We all went together.
Totally. And that's why I couldn't even go in that one room because the one with the doll that
Peggy?
Yeah.
Peggy the doll, yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't trust the other like strangers we were going in there with that were gonna say some bullshit. I'm like, no, this shit is real.
So
Let's not.
funny
like,
story about that. A couple of months ago, I was sitting on my stage getting ready, for doing a show. One of the girls came running downstairs. She's like, something just happened in Peggy's room. There's a thing called Spirit Box. That's the thing that talks. So that needs to be turned on every day. So they turned it on, and then she walked out of the room, and the first group goes in, and the thing comes flying off of the shelf. Now we went back through the security footage, and you clearly see. You guys can go online and actually, if you go onto the Haunted Museum's Twitter page and stuff, and Zach's Twitter page, you can find the video. You see an orb of light come right out of Peggy's. You see the doll. You see an orb come out, go right where the spirit box is, and the spirit box doesn't fall off; it flies off. And then the orb is gone. It goes boop, boom.
No.
So
See-
super weird shit.
Like I believe in it, and I believe
Yeah.
that there's good things and there's not so good things.
Yeah.
So I don't want to mess with the not so good things.
Yeah.
Like I.
My girlfriend does not go when she comes to visit. She won't go in Peggy, and there's a couple other things. She's like, nope, not interested.
I've studied energy work and I've done energy work and I've heard people that have passed. I've seen people that have passed.
Have you had a paranormal experience yourself?
Yeah, a few different things.
Yeah.
I used to take energy classes as well, and so we would do readings on people, and there's this whole technique and everything. But I've seen people. I've seen ancestors of people that I was reading, and they come back and they want to pass on messages, and then the
Wow.
person's like, "How did you know that?" It's
Wow.
so I'm totally in tune with all of that. So that's why I don't like to mess with the dark. Because I don't.
Completely the opposite
All
of
good
me.
vibes, all good energy.
Where I want all of the creepy I can get.
I know.
I love it.
You.
I love it so much.
What if you ever?
I want all
aren't
the
you ever
demons.
afraid of being like cyberly attacked
Or, like,
I mean,
possessed?
No.
Psychically
I don't
attacked
ever.
or,
no,
like,
so
hooked?
oddly enough, like so I do. Sometimes I do like ritual stuff,
Uh-huh.
and just to try to like see what will happen. And sometimes the museum gets a little bit more active
Yeah.
and weird shit. But here's a weird thing: stuff happens to people in my room during my show. Like just last week, I had a girl collapse in the middle of my act. Now she said it was from the drill part of my show, but I've had people just have that happen to them when I'm just talking and stuff like that. Nothing ever happens to me. I've never seen anything, felt anything. Nothing.
Good or negative?
Good, bad, or indifferent. Nothing.
I
but
haven't either. I don't think they trust me.
Hundreds of people in front of me have been touched, scratched. I've had people vomit, pass out, uncontrollable crying, all kinds of stuff. I've seen everything happen. It's really bizarre. But nothing, I sit there 8 hours a day, nothing. Nothing.
Interesting.
Have you seen a spirit anywhere else?
Nope.
Really?
Nope. I've had a couple of weird things, but I can't say specifically like, oh, that's paranormal.
Yeah.
But I have witnessed some stuff that I'm like, oh, that's good. Like when a good example, like my grandmother died. I was at home. I was getting excited to show that night. I saw her in the hospital. I went home to get ready, and my phone rang. And this is back when caller ID was a thing, by the way, and it came up all zeros.
Ooh.
Weird, right?
Yeah.
Within 10 seconds, the phone rang again, and it was my sister saying, Nan just died. So that was weird.
Yeah.
That's a little weird. And I'm like,
Creepy.
That's pretty fucking
Well,
weird.
the dead,
But I don't know.
they always, once somebody has passed, they can communicate through
electronic
electricity
devices. Yeah.
and-
So I don't know how true that is, but was it an unusual thing that happened at a very specific time in my life? Yeah. Can I say it's paranormal? No, not so much. But I've also seen some stuff has happened at the museum with guides. I mean, I've seen the physical scratches on them with like blood.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen
Yeah.
it with my own eyes. And some people there are just like, nah.
Yeah. No, I
And
would
then-
not be able to work there.
Yeah.
No.
And you've never had anything happen to you ever?
No, and she's been with me when I've been trying to, I don't even know what would the word be, summon. We've been into theaters late at night. She's like, I feel some energy in here, and I don't know, I'm probably a bottle of wine and spirits. Where are you at though?
The ghost of Titty's past.
Exactly.
Some
Yeah.
old G-string comes floating across the room.
Totally.
Do you want to buy it? I charge more for unworn.
for a spirit G-string.
Spirit G-string, I think you could get at least 10 times.
Definitely.
Ghost stuff is really big these days.
Yeah.
So, but nothing. But I mean, you grew up in the South. I mean, there's a lot of really. I mean, Alabama has a lot of history.
Yeah, my parents claimed that the first apartment that they lived in was haunted, and some of the stories that they told me were really compelling, and they don't really believe in that stuff too much.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I was always fascinated with it, and just
Yeah.
still kind of want to have a friendly experience. Ghosts, if you're listening, be
I
gentle. But
want to have a friendly.
yeah,
Well, here's the
a little
thing: you don't get
Casper.
so much to choose about that kind
Right.
of stuff. We're actually planning our Halloween special. I'm planning on going up to Virginia City to the Washoe Club, which is known for a very high paranormal place. And we're going to stay overnight. So
cool.
yeah, so we can stay overnight. There's
awesome.
going to be 6 of us, kind of thing. So it's going to be really neat, and it's going to be very interesting. And so I have been to this place on my own, separately. And the first time I went, it was just me and a friend, and the tour guide, and we're sitting in the room, and I could clearly hear. This is midday. Clearly hear boots, and I own cowboy boots, and I know what they sound like. Walking on the floor above us, and chairs being, that sound that a chair makes striding across a wooden floor. And I was like, oh, is there the tour group upstairs? She's like, nope, we're the only people here. And I'm
That's
like,
wild.
that I can clearly hear people walking around. She's like, yep.
That's wild.
She's like, this happens all the time.
Wow.
She's so used to it, it doesn't even faze her anymore.
Yeah.
So
But I feel like you can have that. You get that feeling though, if it's
Yeah.
a good entity or not.
I don't care. I want all.
No, I'm there's a
Man.
different feeling when there's something negative there, and I'm
Yeah.
out so fast. I am.
Me, I'm like, I want to make the demons do stuff fun.
make the demons dance.
Yeah, man. Come on. You could sell your soul for something, wouldn't you do it?
I mean, don't we do that most days of our
Yeah.
lives in Las Vegas?
But I mean, but if you could really, you could sell your soul and you could get whatever you wanted, and you made a contract, would you do that deal?
I don't think so. Not if it meant, I don't know. I'd see what the consequences would be after.
Yeah.
Where's my
Yeah.
soul going?
Well, I mean, that's a contract you get. I mean, you guys have signed a few entertainment contracts.
Right.
I mean, they're pretty.
I don't know.
involved.
I'd rather talk to your great grandfather every day and have him tell me
Yeah.
cool stories and relay them to you.
Yeah.
I would sign that deal.
You would sign that
I would
deal,
listen
yeah.
to him every day.
It's neat. I think it's a really neat thing, and I think a lot of people discount it, especially in the performance world, especially magicians and stuff, as we both know lots of them. They are immediately like, "There's no fucking way."
Yes.
And I'm like, well, here's the thing. I don't know. I'm open to it happening, but I'm also not willing to just believe that every little creak is a ghost either. So. But you know, it's all neat. I don't know. I find it really neat, and I really love the fact that I get to work in a place where weird shit happens daily. It's pretty cool. And we're hoping to get you guys in.
Yeah.
You guys got to come down and see us. Have you ever been?
I've been one time. I actually demonstrated with you, or was your assistant?
Did I use you?
I think you did, yeah.
Oh my God.
I put a nail in your face. Or
Oh,
nose, or...
yeah. Oh my God. That must have been when I first got there. Because I use a power drill now, not the
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Step it up a notch.
Yeah. I'm working on adding a new stunt into the show. It's called the Human Crazy Straw. Ooh. So I'm going to take a giant clear tube, and I wrap it around somebody. So I would wrap around you, and then I put the tube up my nose, pull it out of my mouth, put it into some milk, and then you drink it. And
Oh my God.
Human Crazy Straw. Yeah.
You must be really good at neti pot.
I've never tried one, but I'm pretty sure I could do it.
I always end up like choking on it. Somehow it goes down the back of my throat.
It's all about relaxing the throat.
Please tell us more about that, JoJo.
My throat is like nice and tight. Okay.
Oh my God, I can't tell you, man. This hour went by so fast. Thank you guys so very much, Dani, JoJo. Thank you guys so much. Please, guys, go check them out at Planet Hollywood. Tell them all the times and the days.
Yeah,
and stuff.
we're every day except for Wednesdays. So we're dark tomorrow.
What are your show times?
Showtime 10 p.m.
10 p.m.
Planet Hollywood.
And you can buy tickets.
Ticketmaster.com or crazygirlslv.com.
Or can they buy them just on the property at Planet Hollywood? You can go right there. You can get them online. Make sure you guys download our app at Go Live Vegas. You can go to for your iPhone, for your Android. Check us out on afterdark.host. And make sure you guys stick around. Next week, Maddie Roberts from Storm Area 51 is going to be here. I have so many interesting questions for that guy because holy shit, what a weird phenomenon that became. And that changed this kid's life. I mean, the government agents were showing up at his house. That's like crazy shit. I can't wait to talk to him. And if you guys like to see me, I am at the Zach Bagans Haunted Museum 5 nights a week. I'm dark on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I'm there all day, every day. I'm part of your tour. So, guys, you can buy tickets online or you can buy tickets at the box office. But come on out and see us and tune in next week. I thank you so much. This is Dani and JoJo and John. We're saying bye from Las Vegas. Bye, bitches.